Improvisation. Improvisation is how you waste your parents' money in your 20s. Hi, Vanity Fair. I'm Amber Ruffin, and today I'm going to teach you some comedy slang. The song is free. Blackout. That's what happens when everyone in the audience is black. Just kidding. It is when you have a very short scene that goes to black at the end. Setup. Now, you can't have a joke without a setup. What's the setup? It's the beginning part of the joke. For example, oh no, I shouldn't have started an example. Okay, but for example, is your joke about astronauts? You can tell because astronauts were mentioned in the setup. Next, punch up. Okay, now punch up is what you need when you have written something that is not funny enough. Punch up is what happens when you write something and then you want more jokes in it. So you give it to someone else usually, and they punch it up for you. A callback is mentioning something that you mentioned earlier in the show, hopefully to get a laugh. So if earlier, like when I mentioned astronauts, oh my gosh, callback, that term is out of this world, not unlike an astronaut. So many people watching now going, this is comedy. Okay, now, blow is what you do when you don't have enough energy to, I'm just kidding. Blow is a term for the end of a scene. So it's the last big splashy joke that you do to end whatever sketch you're doing. Blue material. Okay, so blue means dirty. So whenever you get to like a corporate show, you go, how blue can we be? And they say, no blue at all. Or they say, everyone's drinking, you can go as blue as you want. A spot is when you have a set at a theater. So you got a spot at a place, that means you're gonna perform there. Now, spot can also be where you live. If you're like in the 90s, it's your spot. Old people are somewhere laughing. Now again, if this is 1990, bomb means something different. It means great. You did a great job. It's great. But bomb, comedy term, means you did a very bad job and you are not good at comedy, or the audience hates your guts. Have you ever been hated by a whole audience? I have. It's bad. You can bomb. Premise. Oh man, you're never gonna believe what a premise is. A premise is just the whole thing. Like Scooby-Doo, the premise is a bunch of children drive around in a van with no supervision while one of them is high as a heckler. Okay, now a heckler is when someone is in the audience. They have a lot to say about your act. And sometimes when you have a heckler, you can let them boo you and be really mean to you, and then you can go home and cry. Or sometimes you have a heckler and then you can hurt their feelings real bad. It's your choice. Bit. A bit is a joke. It's kind of like, you know what's a good bit is? That's what she said. Like, that's probably the main definition of a bit. It's a goofy thing you do over and over and over that gets funnier every time you do it. And then not funny at all. Bit. Physical comedy is when you fall down. Physical comedy can be any type of laughs you get off of physicality. So it can be dancing. It can be making faces. So who's really good at physical comedy? Jim Carrey. Who is 41 and doesn't move around that much? Amber Ruffin. A catchphrase is something a character says over and over again for comedic effect. Like, you got it, dude, from Full House, or, did I do that from Family Matters? Or Amber Ruffin's famous catchphrase, which is, holy moly, look at all those sausages. We're still working on it. Killed! Killed is what happens when you do a good job. So when you get out there and people are laughing, crying, having the time of their lives, that means you killed, bud. Now, killed also has a second meaning, and that means you stabbed someone and then they died from it. It's also killed. Hack is when someone is doing comedy that is well-worn territory. It's stuff you've seen before. It's cheap. It doesn't take a lot of creativity to come up with. It's hack. Crowd work is when you talk to people in the crowd. Now, lots of times you do crowd work because you sense the audience might not be all the way into it, so you have to go out into the audience and pluck their attention from them. So lots of times you go, oh yeah, who here is from Omaha? Oh my God, I'm from Omaha. Y'all think y'all zoo is the shit, but it's not like that. P.S. Our zoo is the literal best zoo in the world. Go to Omaha, Nebraska, see for yourself. Tight 5 is what every stand-up should be aiming to have at the beginning, where you have 5 minutes of material and you know it kills. Because it kills, it's tight. And because it's 5 minutes, it's 5. And because it's those things together, it's type 5. Okay, so a sketch is when you write a silly bit that is part of a scene where you can just explore a single funny idea or the structure of a joke, usually over and over and over again. Some sketch examples include 2 wild and crazy guys, or no, I think that's the best example of a sketch is 2 wild and crazy guys. And that sounds like a bit, but it's not. It's an excellent sketch. A capper is what you do at the end of your show that caps it off. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned some new comedy slang.